Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome to Portal to Your Healing Oracle, where I use the cards as a mirror to show subconscious beliefs and blocks that are prohibiting us from learning to live in our full heart's desire. I'm Elaine with Heart Activation, and I'm excited to do this weekly reading for you to see what is in store for the collective messages ahead. If you want to check out my other site, it is Heart Activation. My YouTube videos talk about inner growth for outward healing. I also have a website, heartactivation.net, where you can find card reading services, books, and also transformational intensive services. So let's get an overall card for the week ahead and take a look at what the energies will be calling from us, for the week ahead. Embracing family. So as we are just closing out a holiday, whatever it is for you, it still brings forth the idea of family. It still brings forth the idea of comfort, of a nurturing and a nourishing type of energy. It is, I feel very, very strongly about comfort feels. You know how you feel when you're in a loving family, which some of us we're not born into a family that is very loving. That's pretty typical for light workers and star seeds to not feel a part of, or to feel like an outcast. And so the idea then is to actually create your own family, whatever that is for you. But also so we have the number 80. 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 is the number of karma. It is because whatever you put out comes back to you. It's the infinity loop. So the 8 is all about the karmic rewards and the karmic debts, which is paid off through how we are in family. So a lot of karmic debts and retributions are coming forward. I'm going to get another card for the overall energy here. Confusion. So confusion about what is stability, what is home, who is home, how can I feel at home when nobody understands me, how am I supposed to feel and move in this way when I feel like such an outcast. And a big part of that is learning to actually become your own home, to build your own foundation. 4 is the number for foundation. It is the ground in which we build upon. If you think of it, a square, which is a foundation, needs 4 sides. So 4 is the foundation which we build upon. So it's creating that foundation within you. When we are able to create that foundation within ourselves, who is around for us doesn't necessarily matter. It's actually a complete paradox. When we disconnect from everybody and learn to connect to ourselves, we actually wind up feeling very connected to everybody. What is this card? Do I know all my strengths, and am I using them? How can I use one of my soul's gifts to contribute to the world today? So I think part of, do I know all my strengths, and am I using them? This comes back to, as star seeds and light workers, or whatever you would like to call yourself. I don't subscribe to those labels, but it's how people relate. So being born into the family that we were in, we felt like we had all of these unique attributes. And I feel because we wanted to feel like a part of the family, that we disassociated from our gifts, that we suppressed them and we hid them in order to feel like we are a part of something. However, when we do that, when we suppress this part of us and we attempt to fit into a place, it actually winds up creating a dissonance, a confusion with who I am and who they want me to be. And I'm doing all the things that they say, but I'm still not happy. And how do I get to be right? So it's like when we shut off a part of ourselves and we tune that part out, yes, we start to feel completely like not from this world or not a part of, because we haven't allowed ourselves to be a part of exactly who we are. If we're not completely okay with our full totality of our gifts, and so we think other people aren't accepting of that, and so we become not accepting of that, and it kind of creates a ripple effect that is projected outward. And so this is really asking for us to come into like I'm just getting like really the feeling of like comfort and nurturing yourself, like, and really building and embracing with like family that you choose, not necessarily like if your birthed family is nurturing and helpful, that's a beautiful thing. But if not, then you can create your own family. You don't have to stay there. So let's get another another card here. Oh, we'll go with this one. Stories of my mother. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. So we have stories of my mother. This card talks to us. If you can see, it's kind of like barren along here. And we have the eye in the sky. And this talks to us. Well, first of all, it's a triangle. So this talks to us about the three, which would be the inner feminine, the inner masculine, which is born into the union. It also represents the feminine. The upward triangle represents the feminine energy as well. So the stories of my mother, it talks to us about the inherited patterns that are passed down through our mothers. So this goes so hand in hand with, the karmic debts and also the karmic rewards, but the healing of the family lineage, right? Because I feel that we're born, I feel that a lot of, okay, so there's a lot of things coming through here. We think that we were given, there's so much coming through. It's kind of fragmented, to be honest. It all stems from here. Embracing yourself, embracing home within you in order to create outwardly. But first, we do need to understand, like, I was given a life of many freaking adversities as a child. I once blamed my caretakers. However, I recognized that because of the conditions that I was raised in, this had actually allowed for me to harness deep healing abilities for myself and for the presence to be able to be there for others as well. The deep insights and the emotional connections to like the other world was because of the dark spaces that I had as a child. I would not have been, and I am not who I would be if I didn't have those experiences. Oftentimes when we continue to project out or blame others, right? Because it's not, our pain is valid, and also we would not, what would we have learned? What did we learn from our dark days that we would have not learned otherwise? Our pain is valid, and also like it serves a purpose. So our soul contracts, so 8 soul contracts coming forward, our soul contracts were, if we're looking at a higher picture, for our soul's evolution, we signed up, if you subscribe to this, we signed up for certain types of soul expansion. So what if we looked at it like it wasn't personal? Yes, it feels personal to the human experience and to the human mind. But for the soul's evolution, and especially if you're relating to like the labels of starseed and light workers, your mission Your journey here on earth is not meant, it's meant to shape you from a collapse. It's meant to shape you from a demolishing. It's only when you're able to experience both sides of the pendulum are you able to harness the full capacity of wholeness. I mean, we're always whole, but we're able to see the whole perspective with the demolish and with the rebuild. We're able to have the gratitude, the compassion, the empathy, the unconditional love that is here for this time in humanity. So the stories of my mother, this is about healing the lineage, but it's also about learning that it's not personal. You are here to change the patterns. But changing the patterns also is recognizing that, our caregivers also were raised with they were raised with, how were they parented? They weren't parented well, you know what I mean? So it's showing how each generation has formed these stories along the way that created the way that all of them parented and created the way that we are, which is now what we are dismantling. It all draws together. It is all a string back to the core. The core is, when we are able to reveal all of these things, we're actually able to see that at the root of it all is our divine essence, our truth, the divinity, the light, the divine child, the joy. All of those things are under all of the patterns and the behaviors that were handed down to us. I do mentoring, and I have this one-on-one monthly intensive program that actually goes through my book and breaks down the generational patterns that do show up. So if you're looking for guidance on that, you can check out my website at heartactivation.net. And it goes into how these patterns have shaped the way that we live and how to break those patterns, how to learn how to get free of these stories that were handed down to us. Okay, so let's get a couple cards and what we can learn to surrender in this energy here. All right, here's one. Surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly focus on how it's serving you or not serving you. Let's get another one. Surrender to creativity. So when we allow creativity to come through, it is very healing. When we are feeling trapped and constrained, confused by the confines of our mind, if we go into the left side, to the feminine, to the left side of the brain, tap into the creativity, we're actually able to clear things out for us. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Let's get one more here. For what are we surrendering? Surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So that is saying okay, you know, so now that you know, how are you going to move forward? How long do we want to be in the negative thinking loop? How long are we going to suppress our creativity? How long do we actually want to continue this cycle? Do we want to? Do we want to continue this cycle and pass this on to our lineage if we are wanting kids or have kids? Now is the time. And it's never too late. It's never too late. But once we become aware, there is a need for action. Otherwise, we feel like we shame ourselves. Once we are aware and we don't do anything about it, we start to feel bad because we know, but yet we're afraid to, and so we don't move. All right, so instead, one of the key words here is rooted. Instead of saying, I am somewhere else, the family here, you can say, right here, right now, everything is perfect. Allow your energy to shift the material plane where it is needed to help you complete what you have set out to do. The key word here is faith. Instead of saying, why does this always happen to me? We say, I am at peace. Know that everything will work out as it needs to. Hold a space of gratitude as you watch the miracles unfold. The key word here is integrity. Instead of saying it is their fault, we say my thoughts are the cause of my suffering. As emotions rise, go within to see the stories and memories are fueling them. Then release what is not serving you with gratitude. That is so beautiful. And I'm going to pull a card then for guidance for the week ahead. I'm going to pull from the Lightworker Oracle Guidebook, and we'll see what comes forward. So again, if you are feeling the need to work through these generational patterns and healing, I have specific services for that. The Transformational Monthly Intensive at heartactivation.net. It is a profound journey into the depths of the patterns that have shaped the way that we live in the world. Let's get a card for guidance here. Okay. Initiation by air. Okay, let's read this. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset if it can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart, and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? Your mind can become more spacious and luminous if you practice emptying it on a regular basis with creativity. The radiant mind can be a mighty warrior against fear and despair, encouraging you with thoughts of optimism. When not given a chance to empty, however, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information. Much of it will be fear-based programming perpetuated by mass media, which is invested in controlling others and manipulating them by fear. This initiation, which liberates and opens the mind, empowers advanced souls to free themselves from manipulation and control. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. The mind can be trained to be a great manager, creator, and defender of what has genuine value to the heart. But the power to feel what has meaning for us, what moves us enough to rise above our fears and risk growth, comes from the heart, not the mind. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told to not feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. So when I was saying before, when we shut out one part of ourselves in order to feel like we fit into another space, there's that dissonance. We become so confused and we don't know like really who we are until we start removing all of those things. You will feel the need to step back from what you have been taught and learn to question what you once held to be true. Ooh, this is a big activation, guys. As you disengage from habitual mental patterns, you will begin to observe your thoughts rather than be swept up in them. Soon you will, oh my gosh, this is a big week. Will the mind go through the motions? Yes. However, there's no need to be afraid of this. One step at a time, your spirit shall guide your mind back towards peace. You will change the way you relate to your own mind, becoming more empowered. Invocation. I call upon the unconditionally loving ones to help me empty and refresh my mind, renewed in eternal love. May I express my freedom in making wise decisions that create joy and love in me and the world, for divine mercy, compassion, and protection and instruction to assist me in bringing my mind into a loving consciousness. May the light of the divine shine unobstructed through my mind, bringing peace to the world. May the unconditionally loving helpers of humanity help bring light, healing, and joy to the minds of all. Through my own free will, so be it. And I hope that this helps guide you on your week ahead. And if you, again, need to reach out, heartactivation.net. And also next week, I look forward to sharing another reading with you. And I'm sending you so much love until then.